Our final honored member this evening is a close friend of mine, and I know many of you in this room. As a young boy, David Ingemie grew up skiing in Massachusetts and built a passion early on for the sport. Come high school, he started to get involved in the sport, and for the next nearly 4 decades, no, it's not 40, sorry. It's not nearly that old. For the next 4 decades, David Ingemie, through his innovation and perseverance, has made our sport much of what it is today. Let's look at the life and career of David Ingemie.
David Ingemie didn't come from a skiing family. The son of a cobbler and a seamstress, he was the oldest of 3 boys growing up in Fitchburg, Massachusetts. But thanks to a neighbor, he was gliding on snow on Burbank Hill before he was even old enough to be in school. Little hills can leave big impressions. David was hooked. Life changed when David was just 12 and his father died. He remembers being told that he was now the man of the family. For most, that responsibility could have doused their dreams, but for David, it made him more committed to keep skiing and to pay for his passion any way he knew how. Before he could drive, he was hired as a ski instructor. In college, he organized a race league and even secured sponsors to supply equipment and uniforms. To David, if you don't ask, you won't get an answer, a philosophy that would serve this ski bum well into the future. At 21, he was hired as marketing director at Wachusett Mountain. He went on to become executive director of Mount Washington Valley Chamber of Commerce and serve as chairman of New Hampshire's Ski Area Operators Promotional Committee. At 28, the JCs named him Outstanding Young Man of America. And that same year, David made the best choice of his life and joined SIA as marketing director. Recognized for his energy and ability to work with people, David succeeded Doc DesRochers and became SIA's president in 1981. Since then, so much has changed on the mountain. High-speed lifts, shaped skis, terrain parks, and an estimated 7.6 million snowboarders are on the slopes. The snow sport business has changed too. Under David's leadership, SIA grew from 186 to 1,000 members. The annual trade show moved from Las Vegas to Denver, and SIA headquarters moved too, putting the industry closer to the key players in international trade. David also championed better ways to track skiers and snowboarders, what they liked, where they went, and what they bought. News and numbers that helped grow a complex industry. No easy task when you consider the window for recouping investment is open 90 or at best 120 days a year. And that's not the only risk. Weather still ranks as snow sport's biggest gamble, the one element on the planet no one controls. Yet David was willing to brave those odds, and not just for a year or two, but for nearly 4 decades. For his vision and lasting impact on the snow sport industry, David Ingemie's story will now have a permanent place in our ski and snowboard history as an honored member of the U.S. Ski and Snowboard Hall of Fame.
We got to welcome this hero to this stage. He'll be escorted by Mike Carey, former board chairman of SIA. And this medal is going to be presented by Tom Kelly, chairman of the board of directors of the U.S. Ski and Snowboard Hall of Fame. Wow. Man. David Ingemie, having been elected by representation of the 9 million skiers and snowboarders in America, we hereby bestow upon you in Aspen, Colorado, our country's highest snow sport award, the Medal of Honor, and confer upon you from this day forward, April 9th, 2016, induction into the U.S. Ski and Snowboard Hall of Fame, where your accomplishments, sir, will forever be remembered.
I didn't ever expect this, I can tell you. Since, as a number of people have mentioned, this is a pretty emotional time, so I put everything in writing, and I'm going to try to stay to under the 5 minutes that everyone said. As I start here, let me thank Aspen, the town of Aspen, and the company for hosting us. It's been terrific. It's just amazing to see everybody together like this. It's fun. And this really, when you see this community, especially in towns like Aspen or what we're going to see in Stowe, it's really a community, and it's very scary to see you walking in the lift line or you're walking downtown and how many people you see or know and the smiles that people have. So I am honored to even be considered for this distinction, and it's what a gift, really. While I'm getting credit for a lot of things, none of these accomplishments would have been successful or possible were it not for the collaboration of many individuals, businesses, and associations representing resorts, reps, retailers, suppliers, and the media. All of us all work together all the time. Let me now thank my wife of 46 years, Nancy, and our children, Amy and Matthew, who is not here, but Amy is here, and Matthew's daughter, Madeline, my granddaughter, is not here also, but also Amy's husband, Scott, and our grandkids, Abigail and Brady, who are actually amazing skiers. Nancy was and still is my best advisor and guide. I can't even tell you how many times she tells me to do things differently. And I listen, I really do. She doesn't think so, but I do. With much appreciation and respect, a thank you to the U.S. Ski and Snowboard Hall of Fame. And I would like to point out to Tim Petrick and Bob Orbeck, who cannot be here tonight, for nominating me, and to all of you who voted for me. Before I continue my thank yous, I would like to point out a small tidbit. I'm from Fitchburg, Massachusetts. It's a little town in Massachusetts, right in the middle. And last year, another person from Fitchburg was inducted into the Hall of Fame, Joe Cushing. But what most people don't know is that not only were we both from the same town, but we grew up on the same street, Blossom Street, which led to Burbank Hill, which was about a 75-foot vertical hill, I think, with a free rope tow, and it was the home of the Floppin' Offen Ski Club. Here are some other people I want to thank, which got me started into this wonderful industry. I mean, I can't even call it an industry. It's kind of like a fun game, actually, the whole time. Norm and Annalisa Tart gave me my first job at the Ski Barn Ski Shop in Fitchburg when I was 14. Norm taught me to mount bindings and to fix skis, and the way I got paid was people would trade in skis, and he would put a price on the value. Anything over that price was mine. So I learned how to paint skis, put edges on, things like that. He also taught me to be an instructor at Pheasant Run, Benjamin Hill, Mount Wachusett, a mountain, and gave me the nickname that is still with me today, Itchy. Ralph Crowley Sr. and Bob Mignone for hiring me as marketing director at Wachusett, and thank you also to Jeff and Carolyn, who are here from Wachusett, traveling this whole way. Another individual, Jim Driscoll, a parent of 2 kids I taught to ski, for coaching me in business and convincing me to go to the Mount Washington Valley Association job. I never thought I was ever going to leave Wachusett or Fitchburg area, and here I go to New Hampshire. And later for the SIA marketing position. Jim Branch of Snow Engineering for convincing me to apply for the Director of Marketing position at SIA, and to the Marketing Search Committee at SIA, including Art Currier, Denny Hansen, Bob Colburn, for actually believing in me and my enthusiasm for snow sports and then hiring me. I couldn't believe it even happened, okay? My predecessor at SIA, Dr. Roche, for coaching me at SIA and for developing a solid organization that I could use as a foundation for moving forward. I learned a lot from him, including what to do and what not to do. While at SIA, I had 23 bosses, chairpersons. Mike Carey was one of them that was up here, Bob Gundrum over here at the other table, and also Diane Boyer. Thank you. Each and every one of them had an impact on me and the organization. And if this was ever a lecture about how businesses operate, I could speak for hours just on that group of amazing individuals, of how much time they gave as a volunteer to an organization. In addition to the 23 chairmen, I also had the privilege of working for and with over 700 directors of the boards. Wendy Carey is one of them. Patty Duke is here tonight, one of them. David Currier is here. David Lampert, Clark Gunlock, Chuck Ferries, Klaus Obermeyer, to name a few. I learned something from each and every one of these people, and I hope they learned something from me too. In addition to the chairs and board members, I want to thank Sean Corrett, who's not here, and as SIA's general counsel for 30 years of SIA. He was more than that. He was a mentor and a friend, and he was also a real counsel beyond the legal part of it to SIA. Very helpful. There are not enough words I could say to praise and compliment the loyal staff I had the privilege of working with at SIA, who made my job easier and more satisfying. We had a great team over the years. It was a great run. Not all powder, but a great run. Due to time, I have left out dozens, if not hundreds of people who have helped me achieve success. And while not mentioning specifically, I sincerely thank all of you. And you know who you are, Winnie, Bernie, just to name a few. My whole career in snow sports has been trying to get more people on snow, starting at Wachusett with school programs and the promotional programs with the Tourism Department of Massachusetts, then with the New Hampshire ski area operators, and being involved on the NSA Marketing Committee, and then on to SIA. Over the years in the industry, working on all the different programs to get more kids and adults on snow were the ones that actually had my heart, so new participants could develop and share the passion I have for skiing and snowboarding. When I first got involved, the industry had about 10 to 12 million participants. Now there are over 20 million, which is awesome. And I hope it continues to grow. Seeing snow sports participants' smiles, enjoying winter while non-participants have frowns on their face tells it all. In addition to growing the sport and getting new people involved while at SIA, we also worked very hard at getting the U.S. ski team to involve snowboarding the right way, and work with the ski team to get the USOC and the IOC to also include snowboarding, free skiing, slopestyle, and women's jumping. It was fun times, not all easy, but it happened. And let me end with a heartfelt thank you to the town of Ishpeming and the passion it has for the Hall of Fame and for all of the volunteer and paid people involved in the U.S. Ski and Snowboard Hall of Fame, because without you, we would not be here. Thank you. The end.
Ladies and gentlemen, newest honored member of the U.S. Ski and Snowboard Hall of Fame, David Ingemie.